In this lesson, we will look at different AI models. You will learn how to use these models and compare them with each other. And take your first steps with Gemini from Google, Llama from Meta, and Claude from Anthropic. Many people have probably heard of ChatGPT from OpenAI and have even tried it out. According to analysis by SimilarWeb, 200 to 300 million people use ChatGPT's website in the summer of 2024, and they visit the website around 3 billion times a month. This makes ChatGPT the 8th most visited website in the world. But there are many more ChatGPT users. Microsoft has already integrated GPT-4 as a co-pilot in Bing, Edge and Office 365 packages since 2023. Apple also announced that models from OpenAI will be integrated into iPhones from the summer of 2024 and other devices in the future. In addition to GPT-4 from OpenAI, there are many other important large language models, well over 100 of them. We will now introduce you to the models of the major players. The website Google.com has about 100 times as many visits per month as ChatGPT. And Google also has its own AI model, Gemini, which will sooner or later be integrated into many Google products. Meta, the company behind Facebook, Instagram and WhatsApp, also has a large language model, Llama. Unlike the other two major players, the model is open source, so it can be used and actually downloaded for free, and it even works on a normal notebook. We will do this in a later chapter. Former OpenAI employees founded the company Anthropic. The team was able to attract companies such as Google, Amazon, SAP and Zoom as investors. Their current model, Claude, is popular with many developers and is also used by partner companies such as the search engine DuckDuckGo. Which of these models is right for you and your organization? Currently, new versions of these models are released almost every month and surpass the previous models in performance and functions. The question is, how can you keep track of everything? So-called benchmarks provide a structured framework for evaluating and comparing LLMs. Different benchmarks assess various aspects of a model's capabilities, including reasoning and common sense, language understanding and question answering, coding, conversation and chatbots, translation, mathematics, logic, and other standardized tests. The chatbot arena is an open-source platform for human evaluation of AI models, developed by researchers at UC Berkeley, among others. Users rate the response quality of two AI models without knowing their identity. More than 1 million reviews have already been submitted. And that's what we're doing now. To do this, I open a browser window and go to the website, lmarena.ai. I set a prompt and wait for the two answers. Which model the answers come from remains hidden until I have evaluated the answer. In this case, I like answer B better. I click Send, and now we can see which models are behind A and B. Here is the current leaderboard with over 100 AI models. Currently in first place is GPT-4 from OpenAI with a score of 1,340 points. Close behind is O1 Preview with 1,335 points. Gemini 1.5 Pro comes in fourth place. Claude 3.5 Sonnet is in sixth place. And Meta's Llama 3.1 is in 10th place. The models in the top spots are currently quite close together. Another interesting perspective is to look at who uses or supports which models. OpenAI closed a new financing round of $6.6 billion in October 2024. Investors included Microsoft and the microchip developer NVIDIA. But competitor Anthropic also received at least $7 billion from investors such as Amazon and Google last year. That sounds like a lot of money at first. But when you look at the costs, there probably isn't that much left over. The training and maintenance costs for OpenAI's AI models are expected to amount to $7 billion this year. It is currently still unclear whether and how these costs will be passed on to users in any form. Free versions of the models are currently available, but the data entered is used to further train the AI. Unfortunately, this rules out use for many data-conscious organizations. That's why both OpenAI and Anthropic offer their models specifically to organizations which then pay subscription fees of $25 per employee. The inputs from these business customers are then no longer used for training. At €23 per month per team member, the total annual cost is €276 for each employee using the tool. For an organisation with 100 employees, that amounts to €27,600 per year. For such organisations, it can quickly become worthwhile to host an open-source model such as Llama on their own server and make it available to the team. We will show this in chapters 3 and 4. There is no such thing as a jack of all trades when it comes to AI tools. New tools are constantly being added, and others change their features almost overnight. And then there are also some that stop operating altogether. You need to put together your own personal AI toolkit for your specific needs. Like many cutting-edge technologies, it helps to adopt a flexible strategy. Be prepared to try out tools, compare them, and even switch. For this reason, it is important to use personal knowledge management, for example with a notebook app, so that you can easily use your skills, experiences, or templates in other tools. Now it's your turn again. Open these 3 AI tools in browser windows. Now copy our prompt from the last lesson into the input field of each tool. We can compare the different answers with each other. If you can use one chat-based AI, you can actually use almost all of them. They are all very similar in structure. Here you can see the different answers. In my example, it is easy to see. Gemini and Claude tried to create additional visualizations. However, both only created slides with bullet points. In this case, I like the result of ChatGPT best. But many models can do more than just text. We can also use images and audio in a dialogue. These models can now describe quite precisely what can be seen in images. And this has great potential for our topic of inclusion, because it allows us to help visually impaired and blind people. Upload the same image to all models on ChatGPT, Gemini and Claude, and create a prompt to have the image described to you. Here you can see the different answers. All tools recognize the main content of the photo correctly. In fact, none of the tools recognize the child behind the leaves who has climbed up the tree. Google Gemini even provides an image interpretation. Of course, we can also ask several questions at the same time to analyze the picture. Which play elements are in this playground? Which of them are inclusive play elements? How could this playground be made even more inclusive? Claude incorrectly recognizes a floor trampoline. Only Google Gemini and ChatGPT recognize the nest swing as an inclusive element. I like Gemini's suggestions for improvement the best. Some of the tools, such as ChatGPT, now also offer the option of using audio in dialogues. There is even an advanced audio mode in the ChatGPT mobile app that works like a real dialogue partner. Such functions are of course particularly relevant for visually impaired and blind people. Here's a summary. Up to this point you have gotten to know the AI models of the big players, learned how to compare them using benchmarks, made your own prompts and compared them, and learned how to use text, images and sound in dialogues. Now you have everything you need to decide on the tools that you would like to use first. If you would like to get a basic introduction to the Gemini, Llama and Claude models, you can watch 3 additional videos linked below this video. In our next chapter, you will learn how to use AI to generate and analyze text, images and videos using democracy as an example. But now it's your turn to play around with the different AI models yourself. I have another tip for you. You can also use the Misty tool to directly compare different AI models. The app is available for Windows, Mac and Linux and can be downloaded free of charge. You can place several AI models next to each other in one view and only need to write a prompt in order to generate the answer from each model directly next to each other. Reminder, use your notebook to find saved prompts that you want to compare. So take the time now to compare the AI models at your own pace. When you're done, I'll see you in the first lesson of Chapter 2.